could tell us about the day that the bomb came down in the bomb shelter?
Oh, in our shelter, yeah. That was in the Blitz when the bombing was great, you know. And again, you see, we were on the path to London, and if they didn't drop all their bombs on London, they dropped them on the way back. And the particular night, it had rained and rained for days, and every night we used to get up when the siren went and went down the shelter, and the lady next door and her two girls, because she didn't have a shelter. And that particular night, my dad went down the shelter, and there was 6 inches of water in the shelter. So he said to Mum, we weren't to go down it was too wet. If the siren went, we'd have to go under the big kitchen table. Because some people had indoor shelters. And siren went, and we went down the shelter under the table, and then there was this almighty bang. You can't forget things like that. And the smell, the horrendous smell of the stuff they make bombs out of, it's awful. And now if I get that smell, if I go anywhere, all I can remember it. And we didn't know what had happened, except we knew it was close because all the windows cracked and the house shook, and then the wardens quickly came and got us out, told us to leave the house because they didn't know how badly it was damaged. And we had to go round to a big communal shelter around near the school we went to. Then when we came back in the morning, there's our shelter all twisted right down the bottom of the garden. It lifted it right up and took it right down the bottom of the garden. This huge big hole in the garden. And fortunately, because it went, they said it must have gone straight in the door of the shelter, and the shelter took the blast from the house. So we had a crack up the back of the house and tiles and windows, you know, but the house was still standing. We could still live in it, fortunately. And at the same time, there was one in Avon Road, but that wasn't that was just in the garden, and one right over towards Beecham. So it was just like it went, drop 3, like dum dum dum. They actually dropped another one when we were going to the big shelter, because we were going past what we used to call the pond, which had been filled in by the time you ever came to Molesey, and it had a hedge by the side of it. And Gramps spotted this bomb coming down, so he said, "Get in the hedge." So we all fell in the hedge, and the bomb went over the top, and there were some allotments. There were houses, and a great wide down the between these houses, and you could see the bomb go straight down into the allotments at the back, so the houses were safe. So yes, it was a lucky night for us. If it hadn't rained, we would never have been here. We'd have all been dead. It was just that it had rained so much for so long, and the fact that there's 3 rivers around Molesey, you're surrounded by water. So we survived that.